Hi guys, a very good evening. Masquera say. My name is Ronald Wekwamakusha and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. So let us talk about what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe, in SADC, as well as in Africa. Fikile Mbalula has become ZANU-PF commissar on social media. But what is happening is that he is the Secretary General of the ANC, African National Congress of South Africa. But he was trying to stop a public lecture which was going to deal with the just ended election in the nation of Zimbabwe. This was going to be attended by several ANC members. And what happened is that it was being organized by something called DR Tambo. So what happened is that Fikile Mbalula issued a statement or issued a letter where he was actually saying that that public lecture must be postponed because he knew very who was going to speak throughout that lecture is pro change in the nation of Zimbabwe. So they knew very well that a lot of issues were going to be exposed and were going to be discussed. So he wrote a letter, or he penned a letter where he was trying to stop what was happening. So let us go first to the letter which was issued by Fikile Mbalula. Okay, here is the letter which was issued by Fikile Mbalula. I'm trying to put it right here on the screen so that you see for yourself what Fikile Mbalula was trying to do. My network is quite weak, so it's taking time to actually open. But let me try to use another avenue here, which is more efficient. Seems as if my network is refusing to open here. All right. This is the letter which Fikile Mbalula penned, and it was about the public lecture which Ibbo Mandaza was going to be speaking, and it was about the state of democracy in the SADC region, and also a reflection on the national elections in Zimbabwe. And if you go through this letter, Fikile Mbalula said that in context of certain issues he raised, he was requesting that the lecture should not proceed on Thursday 7, which means they wanted this not to be discussed, or they wanted this lecture to be postponed so that views are not okay, so that different views are not respected. So what was going to happen is that they were going to stop this public lecture, but the organizers of this public lecture responded, and in their response, they clearly indicated that they were not going to tolerate that. They were going to proceed with this lecture. And this is O.R. Tambo, which issued a statement here. This is the statement. And they said that O.R. Tambo School of Leadership will continue to host a public lecture on the state of democracy in the SADC region, a reflection on the national elections in Zimbabwe. The lecture is part of series of public dialogues convened by the school as a platform to enhance political education to benefit members of the African National Congress, ANC, the broader mass democratic movement, and the public through dialogue, debate, and discussion to deepen the democratic project. The lecture will be delivered by the renowned African scholar Dr. Ibbo Mandaza, who has researched and written extensively on governance, international relations, and public policy matters. As the school, we would like to distance ourselves from the circulating poster that indicates that the lecture is cancelled. The public lecture will take place as followed. Venue, it's Wits University, SH6 Lecture Hall, and on 7 September 2023, 1800 hours. So this is sent a message to the people in South Africa, or to the people who are siding with the ANC or ZANU-PF, because it was looking as if the position of Fikile Mbalula is the position of the ANC or the position of all South Africans. But this is showing the other way around, that the position of Cyril Ramaphosa and Fikile Mbalula is not the position of the entire ANC. Remember, the former Secretary General of the ANC wanted things to work in Zimbabwe together with some comrades who are still in government in South Africa. They wanted things to work in Zimbabwe. And they were so vocal, but some of them were silenced by this grouping of Fikile Mbalula. The coming in of Fikile Mbalula was a result of sabotage to some comrades who were speaking out against ZANU-PF. So if you see these people becoming vocal in terms of supporting ZANU-PF and blasting the opposition in Zimbabwe, their mandate was trying to silence everyone, including their own comrades within the ANC. But it's backfiring, it's failing, because this is a true testimony, which is right here on the screen, is a true testimony that whatever they're doing, they're not in agreement with their own comrades in the ANC. Reasons being, Zimbabweans, they are actually bringing a burden onto South Africa. Some comrades within the ANC who do not want to leave power feel that the 2024 election is going to be a very big blow to ANC because of immigration, because of pressure on the social services. South Africa is no longer able to provide electricity for its own people, and they are no longer able to regulate the employment sector. They are no longer able to deal with a lot of issues because of immigration. If you go to the health sector, there are pressures on the health sector of South Africa because of the people who are coming from Zimbabwe who are living in South Africa. There is pressure on every public institution in South Africa because of so many foreigners who are there. So you see that all those things, they are going to affect South Africa or ANC in the 2024 elections, hence the defeat. So some comrades within the ANC, they are saying that you cannot support what is happening in Zimbabwe, and you cannot continue to have the Zimbabweans in South Africa at the expense of the ANC. So that is causing so much divisions within South Africa, within the ANC itself. So this response to Fikile Mbalula is a true reflection that the other quarters of the ANC really want the truth to be told. Because remember, South Africa remains strategic in terms of talking sense into the regime in Zimbabwe. Without South Africa, it will be very difficult for the regime in Zimbabwe to survive. That is the reason why you see ZANU-PF propagandists and strategists, they rely much on South Africa. They operate more from South Africa, using South African media, using South African institutions to try and portray whatever they want to portray here back home in Zimbabwe. So this issue has caused so much tension to an extent that Fikile Mbalula himself is now feeling pressure. Ramaphosa was in parliament. He has been asked, what were you doing in Zimbabwe? And he couldn't answer. So you will see the mood in South African parliament as well, that people are not happy. Legislators in South Africa are not happy because they believe that the elections in Zimbabwe were not done properly, and they believe in SADC leading processes within the region. And they are actually against moves by the ANC to try and sanitize the situation. The same was in Namibia. The Namibian president was asked why he congratulated President Emmerson Mnangagwa. All those things are indications that these governments have been left exposed because they are now on their own. They no longer have that support of whatever which is happening. So, Team Zimbabwe, these are the developments. I have shown you the letter which Fikile Mbalula penned to try and stop the lecture, which was going to happen tomorrow, the 7th, in South Africa. But the organizers of this lecture and have distanced themselves from Fikile Mbalula, and they are saying the lecture is proceeding. This is a win to democracy, because it will be a chance for the people of the world, for the world to know what was really happening, what really transpired. Because some of the issues which happened during this election, these are not issues of somebody complaining. These are real issues which can't be ignored by every progressive person in the region. So I don't want to take it much longer. I'm going to just check on the comments. Okay, Anzi Taura Shona, this is Tapiwa Mutondo. Sorry, Tapiwa. The reason why I speak in English is not because we love English. It's because we have Ndebele people, we have Shangani people, we have Tonga people, we have so many languages, or so many people who speak or hear different languages who follow this platform. They requested that we use English, and if you take a look long back when we started our programs, we were using Shona, but because of those requests, we switched it to English, simply because we want to cover everyone. That is the reason why we try to use English in most of our programs, because we have our sisters and our brothers who speak other different languages. Thank you very much, Munya. Juliet, thank you very much for coming. Mavis, I don't know if it is about Shona, please forgive me. We have spoken about this for a very long time, that the reason why we are using English is not because we love English or I'm fluent in English. No, it's because we are trying to cover each and every person. We are trying to cover all tribes or all languages. And we are also trying to cover international platforms, because if you take a look onto the name itself, Africa and Beyond, it means we are dealing with Africa and beyond, which means we have to use a language which accommodates everybody, because our vision is not to end here in Zimbabwe only, but to go worldwide. Okay, Hanzi South say thank you very much, Tapiwa, for the contribution. Hanzi, okay, Sifiso Moyo, Hanzi Tapiwa is trying to accommodate everyone. Thank you very much, Sifiso Munya, Hanzi. Avoid this thing. Otherwise, informative presentation, I encourage you to work on the memorying of Okay, thank you very much, Munya. I started to speak English last year. That is when I started to actually speak English. So sometimes when you're learning a certain language, you have to be confident enough for you to be able to speak. So I believe that I'm improving by each day. And we are now far much better. Okay, and South Africa is enjoying cheap labor from Zim. That's why they support ZANU, evil leaders, ANC. Okay, Michelle Fikile Mbalula is scared of Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF people. Okay, thank you very much for the contribution, Michelle. Okay, Anzi, true, he is scared. Bless suckers. Okay. Anzu Prevail Chete Chamisa is right. Thanks for speaking in English, as some of us don't understand, Shona. Okay, thank you very much, Princess, for this contribution here. I Dutch Combes can speak English. We must learn. Don't mind about people. Okay, thank you very much, Aida. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for coming live here on Africa and Beyond. My name is Ronald Wekwamakusha. Keep on supporting us, keep on subscribing, keep on sharing, and also keep on commenting. So, Team Zimbabwe, thank you very much for coming. Let us meet in other episodes as well as other broadcasts.